commentary position, where, of course, he'll be joined by the wonderful Dave Hendon.
Marco Fu to break.
Well, there's no doubt Marco Fu played superbly here last year. Really did. Made 11 centuries. And let's not forget in the final against John Higgins. Higgins was 3-0 up with 3 centuries. At that stage, it looked like a landslide for the home favourite, but Fu won 9-4, so Higgins only won 1 more frame. It was just terrific snooker. It's what he's capable of. It's what he's looking for again. He said he's not been too happy with his results this season, but there's plenty of tournaments left to be played, including, of course, over the next 7 days. Duane Jones is the world number 109 from Mountain Ash in Wales on the first year of a new 2-year card that he got by coming through the Q School just after the World Championship, and he's first in.
1. Yellow ball. Duane Jones won.
We saw Duane Jones in the last Home Nations event, the Northern Ireland Open. He won his first match then. We saw him against Ronnie O'Sullivan, lost 4-0. It's a big test, obviously, not just playing one of the top 16, but centre stage on television. Still an environment he's looking to get used to. They've never played before, these two. So no previous meetings to call back on. Well,
1.
That was obviously a fluke.
I just mentioned the studio with Andy. I think I'm right in saying it was 5 events in a row. He failed to win a match, Marco. It's a bit of a shock to the system for a player of his standing in the game. As I say, could do with a good performance this afternoon, but more importantly, a win.
Marco Fu won.
Well, it was also a shock to the system for Marco trying to get here. It wasn't the weather that stopped him. He went to Sheffield train station and was told there was industrial action. No trains. So I had to... I think he got in with some of the Chinese players who, of course, based in Sheffield. They got basically a minibus up. He managed to get a place in that. Meanwhile, he's left this really awkward for Duane Jones. Yes, and he's forced the opening from that.
Yeah, it wasn't. And instill any confidence in Duane Jones. That was butchered, that safety. He's a player, actually, Duane Jones, I've enjoyed watching in the practice day. I actually practiced with him a few times. A very good player. One of the Welsh contingent. There's not that many of them around right now, but Duane's definitely one of the better ones. He's been around for a few years, tried to break onto the circuit, couldn't quite manage it. But, he definitely, I think it's about time he improved and started winning his fair share of matches.
Doesn't help, though, when you get draws like this. All these matches are tough, but this is particularly tough. You're playing the defending champion, Marco Fu, loves this venue. We know that from last year in the first round. And remember, if Duane Jones loses the match, he gets no money at all.
It's interesting to see, once Marco's properly and amongst the Reds early on in this match, what sort of pace he plays. He sort of vowed about a year and a half ago that he was going to play the remainder of his career just trying to play quickly. But shouldn't change your mind when you stop losing matches. As I say, he's not won an awful lot of matches this season by his own standards.
11.
Well, I bet he was delighted yesterday to see the Masters draw. First round versus one Ronald O'Sullivan. The man in the form of his life. Of course, defending champion. Beat Marco there last year in a great semi-final.
12. $19. $20.
Yeah, I mentioned about the pace of Marco Fu. He's been kind of workmanlike so far. Not flown. He's lost the cue ball. Just little signs like that. Early on in the match, you look for a player. Little signs, but the early indications are that he's not absolutely brimming with confidence.
$28. $35.
Does the red go through the little gap? Good effort to get into the pack. Obviously goes, he's reaching over there, you see it. Little brush cannon off the other reds. And this has now developed
26.
into a decent chance to win this first frame. Again, though, having a good study, Marco. Just not playing with the fluency that he certainly did here last 12 months ago when he lifted the title.
$42. $43.
Again, he's half lost the cue ball. Don't think he's on this pink. Yeah, black's a tricky pot and position's even more difficult. Hard work, this. We'll have the confidence to play this with a flick of right-hand side. Just make some sort of contact with the four reds. Yeah, he tried it, but yeah, that was butchered again. He's definitely lacking confidence for me, Dave.
You're right, you can see it in his body language. And also, okay, yeah, happy memories from last year, but a few nerves as well. He knows the focus is on him as defending champion. And if he's not 100% happy with his game, then puts a bit of extra pressure on him. Didn't really get close to that black. But of course, a lot of this afternoon is also down to how his opponent acquits himself. Hope everyone enjoyed their break between tournaments. It was about 12 hours, I think, between the UK Championship and this Scottish Open starting. I'm sure a lot of the players were watching last night, watching in awe as Ronnie O'Sullivan won his 6th UK title. Now, has he messed this up? It's pink. He's in the way. So he's not on a red.
every credit to Duane Jones for playing a decent safety off the tight red. Be horrified to not be on the red, playing the pink into the left middle. I suppose looking the bright side, he's got that red, as I say, back in the open. No, that's another very poor safety attempt, and he's so fortunate the Blues come to the rescue. Mind you, he can maybe get through the gap. The red second nearest the corner. You see it just slip past the blue. A player on a brand new cloth playing this, the tendency would be to miss it in the thick side. The cue ball just seems to slide into the red, and you don't hit it as thin as you intended. And he's played it with check side and overcut it. That's the reason why. But again, maybe I think a touch of inexperience. Just play it plain ball, try and get the pot. If I were Duane Jones, I think he'd enough room to play that.
One.
And again, can't help but feel if that was Marco Fu of a year ago, they'd just dragged that red in for a choice of blue or brown. Hedged his bets a fraction on it, you feel.
Brown ball. Marco Fu, 1.
So Fu, 37 in front as he lines up this one to the middle. That's a good pot.
1.
Which you suspect is going to unlock the door to him winning this first frame now.
Six. Seven.
Well, already a snooker required. The pink will make sure. Been a rather tentative start, it's got to be said, but maybe now he's won a frame, he'll settle down a bit.
13. 14. 20. $21.
Marco Fu is back in Hong Kong. He's a Justice of the Peace, which sounds quite exciting, I know, but basically means he works for the government. Among his duties, he has to inspect prisons, and it's a world away from being a snooker player, but it shows the respect he's held in, the esteem he's held in, that he's been appointed by the government.
28.
Don't think he can technically arrest anybody. Maybe we'll find out this week. Better watch what we say.
31.
Yeah, this has been a bit more like it. Last 4 reds, and I'd like to just clear the table. Stay at the table as long as he can. Just get your
35.
arm through the cue ball. I mean, it's still, you know, just mid-afternoon, first day of the tournament. They probably travelled up yesterday. Not had an awful lot of practice.
Yes, he laid down the law here 12 months ago, played superbly to win the Scottish Open. Did Marco Fu. And he's off and running again.
Marco Fu 40.
In 2017, he wins the opening frame. There were chances on both sides, but the first frame has gone to Marco Fu. He leads Duane Jones 1-0 for the target for a place in the second round.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Thank you, frame 2. Duane Jones to break.
Leg 3 of snooker's Home Nation series underway here in Glasgow. The Dafabet Scottish Open. The defending champion, Marco Fu, leads Duane Jones, the world number 109 from Wales, 1-0. Jones had a couple of chances in that first frame, and particularly came unstuck when potted that pink, and when it was respotted, it meant he wasn't on a red. And of course, in these best of sevens, if you don't settle early, then it's hard to settle at all.
It's better.
1.
Just about to say, we're used to seeing performances like last evening from Ronnie winning the UK, John Higgins earlier. A typical Higgins performance. This is, I guess you'd say, the other side of the game, where you've got players further down the rankings fighting for their life, fighting for their tour cards. In a lot of cases, it's difficult to settle in, especially out in the main table, because you don't get many chances out there. Players like
6.
Duane Jones, a big occasion for him this afternoon. He's just not shown as yet in his career how good a player he can be, but believe me, he is very good, is Duane. It's been nice to see him settle in here. I think he's been positive here, a deep screw off the reds. Yeah, there's his cue power. You can see
7.
just in that one shot that he's a talented guy. At least there's nothing to do with the cue ball here, just get the pot. Oh, that's excellent. Very good.
Yeah, big occasion, but also big
14.
opportunity, and that's the thing with these Home Nations events, all 1 to 8 here together. There's no pre-qualifying. Everyone comes to the venue. And it's always very busy first couple of days.
15.
It's hard to... Here's the venue. You can see all the tables lined up. It's hard for the players to get even practice time. It's a bit like trying to book a table at the Ivy. Try and get 20 minutes here and there. It's obviously the crowd, the field that is, thins out as the week goes on. We've seen at some events players, 2 different players practicing on the same table, taking half the table each.
22.
Yeah, that's been common in the Barry Hearn era. 128 players in a flat draw. Obviously that means that there's 64 bodies in here today, all fighting for a practice, not to mention the guys who play tomorrow. And you only get 2 20-minute sessions
23
per day. It's not a lot. It's certainly not a lot when you're someone like Sonny Akani, who normally practices 8 or 9 hours every day. You feel he's been starved of practice at these kind of events, especially first couple of days.
Yeah, of course, he plays Jimmy tomorrow, Jimmy White, tomorrow evening.
28. Thank you. 29.
Yeah, overcut the black.
Duane Jones, 29.
Just as that was starting to look promising.
Yeah. Early nerves, I think, Duane Jones, but he just can't afford to miss shots like that. I mean, the frustrating thing is he'd have been in the club all week practicing, he wouldn't have missed one of those blacks. Yeah, now this red is obviously on to left middle, but there's a bit more angle on it than what it looks on our screen, so Marco just deciding to slip off it and keep the pressure on his young opponent. That's not the best shot he's ever played. Good cue ball, a natural shot to nothing for Duane. Just a bit of a thrash, wasn't it, at the red? Duane Jones probably eager to get the cue ball back up the table.
You can see some results coming across the bottom of your screen. John Higgins we saw win earlier. Stuart Carrington. Fang Zhongman had a great win over Dave Gilbert. Zhao Yulong, Yu Delu, a couple of Chinese winners. Zhao Gudong as well. Chris Totten, Scottish lad from Wishaw, where John Higgins hails from, beat Sam Baird. David Grace beat Alexander Ersenbacher. Mike Dunn, Gerald Green, also winners so far today. Remember tonight, both Judd Trump and Steve Maguire will be on the main table. Graham Dott's also in action. Graham Dott, he's a huge Rangers fan. And we're right opposite Celtic Park here. I'm sure Graham's delighted.
I think he drives in the back way to the stadium here. half chance here for Duane Jones. These reds are tricky. Diagonally across the nap. Nothing to do with the cue ball again. It's all about the pot. Create himself a decent opening. Big shot this for Duane. But you see it's not really on the straight side. Looks much easier from where we are behind the shot, but that was well struck. So one good little positional shot. Pink out of commission right now it looks like, but black not ideal either. So plenty work to do if he's going to develop something. It's a bit unfortunate. He actually played a good shot there. Little holding soft stunt. Just to release the pink. Probably odds on to finish on a red the way he played it. But not this time. If he's going to try and cover Marco Fu for the return here, I don't think he can leave the cue ball anywhere and cover all the reds. He should be in behind the yellow. Think about nothing else. That's what he's tried.
Duane Jones, 6.
Didn't quite make it, but there's only one red Marco Fu can see. But it's not a huge problem. If this is a straight pot, it's a double kiss, but I don't think it is straight, so he can just dump the cue ball on this black cushion. You see, it's not a straight pot, so the red ball will win the race at the crossover point.
Just had the UK Championship, of course. Finished last night. Duane Jones was once coached by Doug Mountjoy, who won that title 10 years apart, 1978 and 1988. Former world finalist, former Masters champion. And Fu was once coached by a Triple Crown winner, Terry Griffiths. Now coached by son, Wayne.
Good chance this in behind the yellow. Red won't come back up the table with him. But, oh, he said it all wrong. That was a basic error for a player. Well, I mean, any main tour player. The cardinal sin. It's not a decisive lead he has. Duane Jones. Just 35, but where the balls were, if he get first chance, he could win the frame. Marco Fu's not going to win it this visit, but every chance of getting back into it.
Well, that blue seemed to be in two minds, actually,
6.
before dropping.
Yeah, it's just evident again. Marco Fu's searching for some form. He does not look confident at all. Double to nothing. Good choice.
7.
Confident or not, the one thing the top players all do is they pick out the correct shot. Virtually every time. There was lots of value in playing that. So he's not going to win the frame at this visit. If he can score 30, he'd be more than satisfied.
His UK Championship adventure ended in the third round, the last 32, 6-4 to Lou Hyschen.
Thank you. 14. $20. $21.
He'll probably be thinking about an angle in this red to play a cannon on the two above it there on your screen, the side cushion. No, not going to be this time. Too straight in the red. Again, just interesting to point out, he didn't appear to me at least to have confidence just to drop that pink in and get that nice angle. So an awful lot of work to do to get on the next red.
28.
The real hard work begins in earnest.
34.
This red is nasty, especially having to play it with pace as he probably is going to have to.
$35.
As I was saying, he probably not going to win the frame, but at least he's back in it. Level board.
$40.
Showed a bit more aggressive intent, didn't it? He's getting at the cue ball too much, but he's taking these well, Marco. Sometimes a 40 break can be as good as it. Not in value terms, but the quality of it has been excellent.
Marco Fu, 40.
It's become quite a cagey frame now. Just over 18 minutes, 5 points between them. See the green obscuring the red down the right-hand side. Referee Andy Yates just having a look at that line.
He's having a think about playing the thin safety off this red. There's a double kiss on here, anything thick, and he's got that red to cover. Yeah. Maybe force them to miss it in the thin side, and he could pay dearly for that. Sometimes I think the thing is, when you're an inexperienced player at this level, don't go to the table every time and think you've got to produce something. Sometimes just play a nothing shot. Buy yourself time. Buy yourself another shot. He was in a lot of trouble. Could have played a negative safety, but probably wouldn't have been in as much trouble as he was initially. Something young players have to learn. No, Marco.
Well, it's a big surprise. Not least for him.
He's just not going through it, is he? I was almost stabbed at that one as well, Duane Jones. Little signs of nerves out there.
Seven. Eight.
How's his angle? Just off straight, just high of straight it looks like. And you see it. Not enough to disturb the red, I don't think. He does have lots of cue power. Well, he won't be dropping on the red. But can he shift it? Good effort, unlucky. But still in control. 9-point lead.
40.
Yeah, demonstrating a good cue power, Duane Jones.
Duane Jones, 14.
Yeah, not going to be any heroics. This is just red to side cushion for Marco Foot. Maybe even flick the black out while he's playing it. Not quite. Just the old head, the old experience. Probably the next time Marco comes back to the table, okay, he could be in trouble, but the chances are he'll be able to play a good attacking safety shot. Yeah, there you have it. able to certainly attempt a shot to nothing. Looks a bit on the thin side, might go side to side again. But no, he can't hit it thick enough for that. So it's probably a shot to nothing. Got my doubts whether Marco's going to take this red on. It just depends if he thinks there's any value. I mean, what can he land on? Should he pot it? Yeah, see, it was never going to be easy, and even if he potted that, it probably wasn't going to be nice in a colour. Now, Duane, you are going to need the brown to win the frame at this visit, but this is a decentish chance. Tricky little opening red. Again, not a lot to do with the cue ball. Let's see, 9 in front, red, green, 13, and 9, so he wouldn't need the blue. Should he get that far, just drop the brown in. He's taking it in the far corner. This does surprise me. Why would he play that shot? That is very strange. It wasn't a sitter into the middle, but it was, I know it was a lot easier than playing it to the corner.
1.
And a big bounce, which he's well, not quite got, but he can still hold for yellow. Or indeed play round the houses. Actually, it looks a natural if he wants to go round the table.
Marco Fu.
Well,
1.
this frame has become hard work. Go back to the Fu miss earlier on, the red with the rest, though. That was a sign that he's not feeling comfortable. And there's another one.
Yeah, talking about the scoreboard earlier. Just an 8-point lead for Duane. So if and when he gets a chance, he's going to need brown and blue in addition to win the frame in one hit. So any mistake by Marco Fu isn't necessarily terminal right now. That was a nice piece of cueing. You just had the feeling that slowly but surely Marco Fu's getting a grip of this crucial second frame. He's just been using all his experience, just waiting a chance to put Duane in trouble. Oh, this is trouble. Love to get this from behind. Cushion first. Well played. Unlucky going in off. Just slip past the pink, not leave a free ball. Oh, it is a free ball.
Free ball.
There's no sitter off it, but he can just move the brown into open play if he wants. An automatic snooker behind the blue. That's what he's looking at now. The evidence of what we've seen so far. Don't have huge confidence in Marco knocking this in. Yeah, well done. He backed himself, that was the key thing. I say it would have been easy to just move the brown into the open and gain the upper hand in the safety battle, but bull by the horns now. He's got plenty to do. Two behind, he still needs pink. Does Marco.
Four. Seven.
Yeah, no, the way he's landed on this brown, he can't stun this. This is in or over.
$11.
Yeah, good pot that. And he needs, as Alan says, blue and pink to lead 2-0 at frame where Duane Jones has had a lot of chances. Fu still not looking 100% comfortable, but he'll feel a lot better if he can knock in the next two balls.
$16.
Well, if this pink goes in, it's a bit of a steal, really. He was always chasing this game, Marco Fu. But he has won it.
22.
In goes the pink. Just under 33 minutes, that frame, but it's gone the same way as the first Marco Fu, halfway towards a place in the second round here in Glasgow. Marco Fu leading Duane Jones 2-0.
Thank you, frame 3. Marco Fu to break.
Well, Marco Fu certainly yet to replicate the form that landed him this title 12 months ago. Highest break just 43, but he's 2-0 up against Duane Jones, halfway towards a place in the last 64 of this Scottish Open. Duane Jones had chances in that second frame, as I say, was making the running really, but ultimately lost it on the pink.
As I was saying, the early part of the match, I think the result is the most important thing for me. I mean, it's silly to say, of course the result's the most important, but I think that's what Marco needs right now. Not won an awful lot of matches lately. Just needs a win to kickstart his season.
One.
Duane Jones, on the other hand, obviously wants to win the match as well. Of course he does, but the performance is important, I think, for Duane Jones, just as a player generally. Just overcooked that a tad, Marco. Just about straight enough on the red, I think. Play for choice of black or pink. And he just started playing
9.
a wee bit quicker, which is a good sign.
$16. $17. $24.
Yeah, not ideal, but I think he can just about cut this red back.
$25.
At his best, Marco Fu is a very heavy scorer. He's in the top 10 all-time century break makers, 467 to his name, including 4 maximums, one of which he made at the Masters. And when he's playing his best stuff, he gets into that lovely rhythm that's very hard to knock him out of. But he's just trying to get into it today. It's the first round. You can't expect him to come out making centuries from the off, particularly as he's a little low in confidence, as he admitted himself in the interview I did with him before the match. But that's the thing, as you say, Alan, there's so many tournaments now. One good week can transform the whole year.
Yeah, I don't think there's the panic in the mind of players,
34.
even top players these days. 20-odd events in the season compared with as low as 6 events towards the end of the old regime.
Thank you.
Now, key shot coming up.
35.
One good cannon. Dropping a red and well on his way to a 3-0 lead here, Marco Fu. He's looked better, this little contribution.
$42.
Yes, and I guess part of the fact that it looks better comes from the fact he won the previous frame, which he could easily have lost. In the end, he made that nice little clearance to the pink.
$43.
The rankings, of course, change all the time, but he's firmly ensconced in the top 16. At number 9 is Marco Fu.
$48.
Just off straight, and this means he's got a bit of work to do. for his next red.
49.
Didn't have a natural to land low, half ball on the black, so this is a bit harder a shot. No, sir. Not good. I don't think he's gotten away with it either. Well, he's definitely left a pot, but nothing easy. Duane Jones would love to be on this one to right corner. Not the sort of shot Marco was missing here last year, that is for sure.
No, he's yet to find that clinical mode that we were talking about. 49 in front, but this is the black. Offers up an opportunity here for Duane Jones to get going.
1.
Duane Jones, who lost his place on the tour at the end of last season, but immediately got it back through the Q School, which is really hard. There's only 2 events, but he won 5 matches in the second of them. Beat a couple of well-known names there, Simon Bedford, Alex Davis, to get a 2-year card back. He's won 3 matches this season, but just lost out in York. First round to Ricky Walden, 6-1.
Four.
Yeah, he's an important shot. Bottom red of the 3 together. Just land nice on that. Virtually guarantees the next 24. Well, the top red goes as well, so that makes it better. As I say, this next, well, 3 reds at least should be guaranteed.
9.
If there is such a thing in this game.
Ten. $16. $17.
He'll already be thinking about the red and the black cushion.
23.
Wait, does he fancy attacking it? Has he got the confidence to play on it? Or is he going to try and shift it? Well, he doesn't have
24.
the angle to shift it, so this shot will tell its own story. Will he play for the loose red? The one behind the black spot. Every credit he's played for it, but that is not ideal. If he plays the pot here, this is very missable.
31.
Every credit Duane Jones, played it positively, wasn't hiding, fully committed.
Well, really good chance now to get his first frame on the board. These all came about, of course, when Fu missed that, what for him was a straightforward black. Yeah, Fu was going along nicely on 49, and then this happened.
39. 40.
Well, he's annoyed. He's lost the cue ball.
Yellow ball. Duane Jones, 40.
He knows that was a really good chance. Having potted that red along the top cushion, all the other balls were lined nicely.
Yeah, not all that dissimilar to the last frame. That yellow's just about, yeah, tight on the ball back cushion. This time it's Marco with a 9-point lead. So slight advantage, but in this sort of position you put Marco Fu a firm favourite to win the frame.
Foul. The miss. Marco Fu, 4. Back.
Well, the only real difference that makes is that Fu now doesn't need the blue.
Check it.
Referee just coordinating this with the marker who's got the screen, the freeze frame up. That's where it was. That's spot on, just about.
The chance for Marco to get the initiative. Not easy to get in behind black here, but could use, probably pink's the more likely ball, the snookering ball. See, the white was going to travel, and he has got it behind the pink. Straightforward. Chance of a snooker Marco here in behind the black. It looks like he's played it very well. Again, it was all pink or black was always the target, so once again, he's the upper hand.
He's got so much experience, Fu, in this sort of situation. Oh, just for a minute, I thought that was going in. Nod of the head as he leaves the pot on. So Fu needs yellow, green and brown.
Two.
Well, he's finished a bit straight in this green for comfort. Certainly can't get close to the brown. Doesn't want to be tempted to try and bite too much off here and creating an angle. Yes, he had to settle for bridging off the rail. This is This is a toughie. I would say this is... Played this 10 times under these circumstances, the way he's feeling. I think he'd probably only pot it. Maybe five, maybe 6 at the most times. This is tough. Yeah, I was saying 5 or 6 times. But the very most, that was... Yeah, the way he's feeling, taking everything into consideration, I'm not all that surprised he missed it. Now, Duane, you see enough of this brown to pot it? Yes, he can.
Well, at least it's run safe. Big moments here. Fu wins the frame 3-0. Strongly fancy him to come through. If Jones can win it, though, puts just a few seeds of doubt into that man's mind.
Another experienced shot by Marco Fu, not trying to get too greedy with the cue ball there, just making sure he got the brown safe. That'll do nicely. 18 points in front, Marco, but it doesn't count for much, not at this visit any, Rod. Will he use experience once again? Couple of cushions and rest into the back of the brown. He doesn't want to slip past this. That is a terrible shot, quite honestly. That is not a good shot by Marco Fu. 18 points in front. He can afford to miss it on the high side at virtually no penalty. To miss it on the low side was not good at all. Now, Duane Jones, you have to clear up here. Any aspirations of winning this match?
4. Nine.
Well, that cue ball has gone on, and he's going to need the rest now, so there's pressure on this pink for sure. Didn't really need this to be getting the rest out. And it's not there.
Thank you. Duane Jones, 9.
He's covered it, but it was a great chance, that.
Yes, again, Marco not getting over ambitious. Good shot, that. Didn't look much. You're going to be in trouble again, I know that. But the fact that he only needs a ball, Duane Jones needs them both, makes a difference. As I say, that last shot by Marco Fu didn't look an awful lot, but He knew he'd come back and be able to see the pink next time. Now, can he play a tell in safety? Yeah, that'll do. Very good.
Double kiss. Oh, my word. He's got away with that and then some. To finish stuck to the pink. Incredible.
Okay, no, he definitely won't be taking the pot on. I think just push the pink down and back up past the left middle pocket. There's no double kiss on. Would have some sort of squeaker getting in behind the black as well. That's definitely the right shot to play. Just make sure, if you can, that the pink gets back above the left middle. That was a strange way to play it. Don't know what he was playing, actually. He's gotten away with it again. Every little helps. That is actually quite a telling safety. Marco can't put distance between cue ball and pink this time. Again, using his experience, just saying, I'm going to put the pink safe. Maybe I can play a better shot next time. Oh, yes. He's got the upper hand. What does Marco do with this? The fact that the pink's virtually touching the baulk cushion. This isn't easy regardless of which way he plays it. Very, very good again. For once, it's Marco Fu who plays a ragged shot. He's not left a sitter. But if Duane Jones can drop this pink in the middle, some sort of shot at the black. Hard to tell as a player sometimes whether this pink tends to roll up the way or in towards the near jaw. Let's see. Oh, that stayed pretty straight. Marco Marco's was saying just needs pink, but I've got my doubts about whether he'll even take this on. All depends, really, how good a safety shot he feels he can play. The thing taking it on is he can't really play a good cue ball. So again, just biding his time.
Well, there's all sorts happening in this exchange on the pink. He got fortunate there, Fu.
I don't think Duane can really take the pink on here. I think he's thinking about shoving the pink straight up and down behind the brown spot, but watch the cue ball. If it cannons the black half ball, this could go in off. That's why he's played it the other way. Yeah, that was a good choice. 9 points behind. He can't afford a foul, as Marco can.
7.5 minutes now on this pink.
I don't know how too straight this is as far as playing a double in the left middle. He doesn't really want to play it unless he can get a decentish cue ball. But I think it looks a bit thin for that. If he's playing the pink down this end, just be careful, cue ball going in the yellow pocket. And he's gone for the double. Bit of a speculative one, as I say. He was always bound to lose the cue ball, but has he been fortunate? Not got a total snooker.
Well, we're coming up to now nearly 10 minutes on this pink.
That's a good shot he's played. Every chance of getting behind the black. And this time, I don't think Marco can see any of it. Maybe just a thin edge.
Foul. Miss.
There you are, is it the black? Actually doesn't make a difference. He still needs the pink, and Jones still needs them both. But of course it can go back.
It's not all that easy a job here for the referee. Marco didn't give him all that long of a look at how much of the pink he could see. So I'm going to have to trust in Marco's putting this back more or less exactly where it was.
That's me. No, you see too much of that. You see too much of that. It's got to be not that way.
Andy Yates is the referee. Mark King, not that one, is the marker.
Yeah, happy, yeah. You're saying it's right, yeah? OK. Duane, thank you.
Yeah, well, every credit to Marco Fu there, because he missed the black by just a fraction and just caught a fraction of the pink, so he didn't gain any advantage. Let's say the referee and his opponent had to trust him there. So well done, Marco, but as Dave Hendon said, no material difference to the actual score here. Marco Fu still just needs the pink.
Definitely seeing, though, from Jones some of that grounding that I mentioned, coached by Doug Mountjoy. And, of course, snooker in Wales is such a hotbed. There'll be a lot of experienced players there, I'm sure, giving him advice on this side of the game. Oh, came very close to the double kiss. But a good shot there from Fu. This is some battle. It's nearly 13 minutes now on this pink. And such an important one in the wider context of the match, 3-0 or 2-1.
Foul. Marco Fu 6.
Well, he gets the points back. Of course, he gave away 7. He got 6 back. Pink is close to the pocket. He's still got to knock it in. And if he does, he'll be 3-0 up. If the white hadn't gone in, that pink would still have been on. That's a good point in the end to bring that tense exchange on the pink to a conclusion in the favour of Marco Fu, who's now a heavy favourite to progress to the second round of the Scottish Open here in Glasgow, leading Duane Jones by 3 frames to 0. Welcome back. Well, sadly, Mark Williams has withdrawn. His wife, Jo, ill in hospital. But as you can see, he's watching. There's Mark's tweet from earlier on, still watching the Welsh boy. Duane Jones playing snooker from the hospital, even though I'm not there. Not sure his wife is too amused because Mark won in Belfast. We wish him and Jo all the best. Good to see he's watching, though. And on the Eurosport player, another Welshman, Jamie Jones. He's playing Barry Hawkins. Hawkins won the first frame there, but needs snookers in the second. That's live on Eurosport player right now.
Frame conceded, frame Jamie Jones.
Yeah, okay, Joanne.
Well, Marco Fu has won what seems like a big third frame there after the epic battle on the pink. So he leads 3-0. He needs one more for victory.
Yeah, there's things going wrong for Duane. And a couple of chances to win at least 2 frames today. I suppose you could argue he's had chances in every frame, and he has, but just at this level, just lacks maybe the experience. And Marco Fu, with the freedom of a 3-0 lead, it's time to be aggressive. Don't know how aggressive he's going to be in the next shot, mind you. He's on a choice of blue or yellow, but probably going to be stretching with it. Might have to use the rest, bridging over the black and other red.
Yeah, could have done with that second red in there and freed the pocket for the black.
Yellow ball.
Well, this is a key shot. Well, it's not out the woods yet. Well, there's a red near the pocket. But I guess he played that with the breathing space of having just gone 3-0 up.
3. Four.
Yeah, still on this black. You see how straight it is. He's not renowned for his cue power, Marco Foot. See how far he can get the cue ball back into the middle of the table playing this. Yeah, it was more of a stun than anything, but still decent on a red. This is probably the big
11.
shot of the match, or the break rather. This red goes in. You'd probably fancy him going on and making a score. Yeah, good shot.
12.
Even just looking at him, you can sort of tell he's just won a crunch frame on that pink. Looks confident now. His home
19.
nations campaign so far has not been too successful, to say the least. Lost first round of the English Open and then withdrew from the Northern Ireland Open. Quite hard for the
20.
players, I think, to manage their schedule. We know that Mark Selby, for example, didn't play in Belfast, wanted to focus on the UK Championship, but lost second round there, hasn't entered this tournament. So his next snooker, in terms of a major event, will be the Masters in the middle of January.
27.
Problem is, if you enter a tournament and then pull out without a good reason, i.e. medical certificate, you get
28.
fined. Anyway, Fu's in, looking to kill this off. Highest break so far, 49. I guess if he could make a big break here to win the match, that would send him off reasonably happy with his day's work. Pot success, 91%, which is good. Ronnie O'Sullivan last night in the UK final was up around 96% at the end. It was just incredible.
35.
In fact, I saw Michael Georgiou backstage because he plays Ronnie again. He beat him on the way to winning in York. Got him again tomorrow.
36.
It's what he has shown today. It's good discipline, Marco Foot, but nothing
43.
flash in this performance. He just played virtually the correct shot every time. And he's just starting to
44.
play a little better, you feel. Still not hitting it, not striping it the way he wants to. But we've seen last year he can grow into a tournament, can Marco Foot. Doesn't take him long to get his confidence levels up to where he wants them to be.
$47. $48.
It's probably worth playing the split here in the reds. The other red might help him. Good shot. Not bad.
55.
As the Reds open, this is
56.
comfortably the highest break of the match, and every chance to close it out now, put himself into the last 64 on Wednesday.
$63. $64.
So this is the ball that's going to get him to snookers required. It's a bit straight on this black, but as I say, it is the ball he needs to leave Jones needing a snooker. Not much angle. Well, he's powered it anyway. And he's on another red, which should stop any playing on.
71.
Third frame was massive, that long battle on the pink. If Jones had won that, of course, he did have a chance initially to clear.
72.
If he'd have won that, then suddenly there's pressure on Fu, who hadn't necessarily been playing his best stuff. But having won that frame, you fancied him strongly to close out victory, and that's what he's surely done now. May well be with a century. He made 11 in this tournament last year on the way to winning
79.
the Scottish Open title. It was one of the best performances of the season by any player. It really was. He was dominant all week. Just one real close match. That was against Neil Robertson in the last 16 that he won 4-3. Other than that, no one really got close to him 12 months ago.
$86. $87.
Marco Fu's had 15 centuries so far this season.
Thank you. 94.
This black for number 16. Well, it's a great way to finish.
101.
Won the first frame comfortably. The second was closer. The third was a lot closer. He won it on the pink.
Marco Fu.
And he's made a break of 101 to secure victory here in the first round. So the defending champion, Marco Fu, off and running here at the Scottish Open in Glasgow. Duane Jones will look back, I think, on that third frame when he did have a chance to narrow the gap. After that, Fu clearly grew in confidence, and he's through to the last 64. He's beaten Duane Jones by 4 frames to 0.